Alright, what's going on everyone? Today I'm going to show you how to change your mass airflow sensor and your air charge sensor. So if you drive an early or late 90s Ford, a lot of them have this sensor called an air charge sensor. Essentially what it does is it's measuring the charge of air coming into the engine. It's whether it really does anything is, I don't know. It's up to the computer of this car. I personally think it's such an unnecessary sensor. I feel like there are other sensors like a map sensor or that could do something like that, or you have your map sensor right here which is completely destroyed, so I'm also going to be changing that as well. Yeah, let me show you how to do that. This one actually surprisingly kind of works, but it's all just destroyed and old, and I figure maybe a new one might help this car run. This car has a little bit of an issue. The first issue being that when it gets hot, it starts to run worse. I mean, and I don't mean hot, I mean when it gets to operating temperature, it runs worse. So that is a little weird. I don't know if it's something that's sensor related, so I'm kind of just going through each little tiny component on the car one at a time. Could be like an exhaust gas recirculation thing. It could be, I don't know, fuel pump ramping wrong over time. I don't know. Could be anything. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to change the sensors, and then I have to fix a little coolant leak that I have on this bottom hose. Because right now the car is like almost out of coolant. Or it's definitely low. So I definitely have to fix that leak. It has a little bit of corrosion on the hose. So yeah, let me show you what to do. This is what it looks like, by the way. So it's completely destroyed. Needs to be changed. Sorry, I'm sick, so I sound really nasally and gross. Sorry. Here's the part number, by the way, I think. If that's what you want. Maybe. If you search those numbers. But yeah, it's all just junk. So, this is your air charge sensor. And this is your new mass airflow sensor. Here is the part number. Right there. Perfect. So airflow goes that way. So we have the two sensors. Here we go. Ready? Here's the thumbnail. Ta-da! Just like that. So yeah. See these screws right here? On the charge tube, which I'm going to put right there. Make sure do not damage this. Put it in a place where it's definitely not going to fall. Grab the tube is going to be different for whatever car you have. So I have this aftermarket intake, but on your factory intake, it should be right there. The pigtail is right here, so chances are that the sensor is going to be pretty much in this general area right here. You'll see what the sensor looks like. I put 2 Phillips head screws in this. The problem with most of these is I don't know if this is a factory thing or has something to do with if you put an aftermarket piece on here or change the sensor. It has these, like, I don't know what to say it. It's a Torx style, but it's like a Torx lock style where it has the little dipple or the little stud in the center of the Torx. I don't know, remember what that's called. It's not called inverted Torx. I don't remember exactly what that's called. But I'll leave a link in the description for what the actual tool you need to remove those little Torx bits are. Because it's essentially a Torx, but it has a little dipple in the middle. For some reason, I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me. But mine was junk, and they were all stripped out in garbage because I have a feeling somebody tried to remove them before. So what I ended up having to do was cut little slits into the top of the heads of the bolt. And then I just used a flathead screwdriver to take them out anyway. So it didn't end up really mattering. That's another tip for you too. So if you strip out the head of the bolt, You can put a little notch in it with like a grinding wheel or something. I know if you don't have a grinding wheel, it's going to be difficult, and you can turn it into like a flathead. So you can just put a flathead screwdriver on there instead. But I ended up just putting a little notch in it. I got one of them out with the flathead, and then I had to use a pair of vice grips to get the other one out. My mass airflow sensor was toast, and it was completely broken. So I said, whatever, it's not a big deal. I'll break I essentially just broke it off, and then I just used a pair of vice grips to get these off. So go ahead and do that. Once you do that, though, you're going to want to mount your mass airflow sensor in place. So it should be like, you know, the shape should be exactly the same. Sometimes there's a gasket in between. I'm not really sure in this case, especially like this one definitely did not have a gasket. The reason why they should in some cases is because you don't want unmetered air coming into your engine. I am in no means a professional, by the way, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I mean, yes, you don't want unmetered air coming into your engine, but if I end up saying something completely wrong, or just I'm not doing something correctly, or someone doesn't know what I'm talking about, yeah, I'm not a professional. I just kind of fix things. So I got my little 2 Phillips heads. I don't have my Phillips head screwdriver, so I have to go get it, which I will in 1 second. 1 second, let me see. Go ahead, and I have Phillips head screwdriver heads. I found these out of my random stash, and they ended up working. If you end up having to cut the threads out or the bolts out, go to the hardware store and just get a couple of, you know, screws that fit. Bring the tube with you so you can match them up and see what the thread pitch is. Sometimes there is no thread pitch. Sometimes it's just like hardened plastic, so it doesn't really have a thread pitch. You just put like a coarse screw in there to kind of tighten it down, and hopefully it doesn't strip out. So go ahead and tighten that down. See, the seal on that isn't really that great. I'm not exactly happy about it, but I believe that will work. I mean, it actually seals okay. Alright, well, I put a dab of silicone on it, so I'm just going to go ahead and wipe the residue off. Put my little dab of residue, my little dab of stuff, put the mass airflow sensor in. That's a better seal. Go ahead and throw your screws in, and you can go ahead and plug it in. Wipe your hands because I got it all over myself. Silicone is extremely freaking messy. I'm gonna throw my cone filter on. Obviously, this is like, again, I'm going to say this again, I'm not a professional, but if you have mechanical skill, you're inclined enough, you can accomplish your dreams. Not really, but at least I'm going to show you how to change your air charge sensor. So for this sensor that you're gonna see right here, I'm gonna go get a pair of an adjustable wrench, and we're going to remove it with that. Yeah, go get that. All right, so get your adjustable and kind of just loosen that up. You don't need to put like a thread locker or Teflon on it. Oh geez, that is all oiled up. So I wonder if the reason why that's full of oil is because the original port that was on the intake for the valve cover recirculation was going before the air charge sensor, so it was just sucking in a bunch of oil and grime. So yeah, because that has oil on it, so that's probably why. So go ahead and grab your new air charge sensor, just thread it in there, thread it on in there. Let's see if that helps it run. Don't make it like stupid tight either, because you don't want to break it, but just make it tight enough. There you go. Go ahead and just tighten that on there. Perfect. That's on, sensor's on, charge sensor is in. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna fix that coolant leak I have. All right, so got my sandpaper. I'm gonna sand around the hose, not into the pan, because I'm gonna be dumping this back into the engine. I'm gonna be sanding around the coolant hose. Yeah, and I feel why it's not gripping very well. So yeah, the aluminum on coolant hoses corrode, so it's best if you clean it up before you put the hose back on. So, see that hose right, oh God, here? Yeah, I had to sand this down a little bit, if it can focus, which it won't. I had to sand this down a little bit to clean up the surface because the radiator hose itself wasn't sealing on it. So I'm gonna throw the radiator hose back on. Oh God. This tripod sucks. It's the only one I have though. All right, so I'm gonna go wipe my hands really quick and then start it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start it. Let it bleed. Alright, I'm gonna let that get to operating temp and let it bleed out. I know this isn't part of the video, so if you want to turn the video off, you can skip this part. The main part was I wanted to show you guys how to do the mass airflow sensor, but yeah. Well, I've come to the conclusion that the engine is just tired. I think it has like 160 something thousand miles on it. And who knows, this is probably the original engine to the car. And only when it gets hot does it start to pump out a little bit of white smoke and starts to idle weird. I did move the dipstick while it was running, and I saw some white smoke coming out. So I don't know, I could have a bad, I don't know, the rings could just be worn out. It's just the engine could be tired. I mean, it runs fine. Maybe I'll get some like bars, you know, head gasket repair, or like, I don't know, valve seal repair, I don't know, something, and ring repair, and just dump it in the engine and see what it does. But for now, I'm gonna leave it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.